Good evening, Philippines! Welcome to another empowering episode of Just Girls right here on DATV. Sa bawat Huwebes, pinapatunayan natin na walang pintuan, na hindi kayang buksan ng lakas, talino at tapang ng kababaihan. Today, we are bringing you a story of breaking barriers and making history. Our guest for tonight holds a historic milestone. She is the very first female spokesperson of the Armed Forces of the Philippines in its nearly 9-decade history. Hindi lang yan, she is a seasoned cybersecurity expert, recognized internationally as the Global Security Woman Leader of the Year, and a proud member of the PMA Sanghaya Class of 2000. Please welcome Colonel Francel Margareth Padilla. Magandang gabi po sa inyo, ma'am.
Magandang gabi, Fiona, and thank you for having the Armed Forces of the Philippines here tonight. Siyempre, nire-represent natin, and hopefully, yung magiging conversation natin will open doors of possibilities to younger generations ng mga kababaihan.
Now, Colonel, welcome to Just Girls. It's an absolute honor to have you on set today. To kick off our first segment, pag-uusapan natin ang inyong makasaysayang paglalakbay sa military. Now, you made history as the very first female spokesperson for the AFP in almost 90 years. When you first received the appointment, ano ang unang pumasok sa isip mo at ano ang naging personal significance nito sa inyo?
Well, basically, yung being designated as the first, it's an honor. But kaakibat nitong honor na ito are expectations. And yun, syempre, expectations hindi lang ng sarili ko, but of course, yung mga nauna ng mga leaders na mga kababaihan before us, and of course, yung mga susunod pa sa atin. So it's actually something that is very humbling in a sense na will I be able to perform to what is expected of me, no? So maraming umaandar sa mind ko during that time, aside from of course answering the question, why me?
Nakaramdam rin po ba ng matinding pressure ng mga panahong yun? Entering that part?
Oo, kasi pag first andun yung lahat ng mata na andun sa'yo, thinking kung talagang, eto ba, are you really worth, kumbaga, the hype of being the very first to be designated in such a role.
Now, entering the Philippine Military Academy as part of the Sanghaya Class of 2000, what were the early challenges you faced as a woman in a traditionally male-dominated environment?
Well, basically, yung class 2000 kami yung first na class to complete yung 4 years ng academy na may babae. So, kumbaga, full na yung circle, so to speak, no? So, ando dun pa rin yung learning curve on how PMA navigates the presence of females along with the males. Ganon din. So, syempre, from our top hierarchy of leaders, pababa, paano nila i-adjust yung dating male-dominated nga talaga na field, no? So we were like guinea pigs of sorts, no? So talagang nandun yung challenge on how you would try to be able to be at par with your male counterparts. And sa PMA naman, walang distinction how they treat you. And so with that's really how it should be. And so nandito kami ngayon showing that we really went to leaps and bounds in order for us to survive the training in PMA.
Curious lang po, kayo po ba yung nakapag-decide ng gusto niyo yung path na ganito? Like, this was your own, parang ikaw mismo lang or somebody pushed you to be in this kind of position or it's on your own will po?
PMA, wala kaming relatives na na in the military field, so to speak, no. But it came out as a challenge from my brother who used to be part of PMA 97, no. Parang sabi niya, mag-exam ka lang, try to see if you're really going to be fully qualified, and the rest is history.
So talagang ginusto mo rin po tong part na to na sige na nga, push ko na nga to, ganon?
Not necessarily. I think the stars really aligned, no, to put me where I am now. But wala pa yun sa inkling before na mapupunta ako sa ganitong profession.
Okay. In the military culture, discipline and strength are paramount. How did you define strength for yourself as a female cadet, and how has that definition evolved today?
Well, yung strength before, ang definition mo is hindi ako iiyak, no? I should not cry and I should be really able to navigate this challenges in being in a male-dominated field. But strength now, iba na yung naging definition niya. Strength is accepting na you're wrong at times, no? It's being apologetic, being able to listen, no, na hindi ikaw lagi yung tama, no? It's also part of strength. And one more thing is asking help, no? Hindi dapat tayo magpretend na hindi natin kailangan ng tulong in certain kinds of situations and mga hinaharap nga natin. So parang it's part of maturing, so to speak, na hindi ako iiyak, but I should also be able to navigate my feelings, my emotions, and how I handle things as a leader, no? So yung leadership role, it goes both ways. You should be able to know how to listen din para paano mo susolusyonan yung problema ng mga tropa mo kung hindi ka makikinig sa kanila, ikaw lang yung laging tama. So yun yung nagiging evolution, no, on how I define strength as a leader in my career.
Now, you previously commanded the Philippine Army's 7th Signal Battalion and led the Media and Civil Affairs Group. Paano nakatulong ang mga command positions na ito sa paghahanda po sa inyo para sa inyong kasalukuyang role?
Well, sa amin, no, talaga namang yung transition from one leadership role to the other, pataas ng pataas yan. Dumadami din yung mga tropa na hinahandle mo as you go up your career ladder, no? So from, in our case, may counterparts kami. I'm a signal officer, pero ang counterparts namin, no, sa infantry, mag-start ka as a platoon leader to a company commander, no, and then to a battalion commander. So dumadami yung tropa mo, mas malaki din yung responsibility that is upon your shoulders. So ang hawak mo niyan, no, being a leader, you really are faced with hard decisions that you have to make at times, no. So may mga leadership decisions ka that would really compel you to have an effect dun sa buhay ng tao. Kasi pag ni-reassign mo yan, sometimes even their families gets relocated, no? Kasi magsistay yan dyan, nag-aaral na yung anak niya, so kahit na magkakasama sila, yun. But of course, in the military profession, ang sinasabi namin sa military professionalism, you can be assigned to a distant post, no? We resist the right to wear as we want, say as we please, no? Those things. So if we embrace military professionalism, kaya mong i-impose ito as a commander, no? So yun yung mga intricacies of the job going up in different levels of command.
Now, being the voice of the armed forces means handling high-pressure public issues. Now, how do you balance being decisive and authoritative while staying relatable and approachable to the public?
Well, basically, no, kailangan, yun nga yung challenge, no? It's one thing that you speak, but it's another that they trust you. So, yung communication builds trust. So, yung trust, maipapakita mo yan if you are honest. And for us, kailangan nandun yung pwede kang makapagsalita with clarity, no, with empathy, and of course with respect. Kasi bawat question na ibigay sa amin deserves an answer to a public, to a Filipino, to an individual that is searching for answers. So kailangan we are able to deliver in that.
Now, nung pumasok po kayo sa AFP, did you ever imagine that you would be breaking a ceiling of this scale, or was your mindset purely focused on just performing on your duty?
Oh no, never in my wildest dreams. Syempre, I was too busy trying to survive in PMA to begin with.
Okay.
No, sabi nga nila sa training, kapag nakakapag-isip ka pa or nalulungkot ka pa, ibig sabihin nagre-relax ka na. So ibig sabihin talagang sobrang rigorous yung training na talagang hindi mo na maiisip yung mga ganyang bagay. So for us, trabaho lang, no? Tuloy-tuloy tayo, serbisyo. So yung service natin should be correlated to a life of not just legacy but of value.
That's great. Now, women in uniform often face unspoken doubts or systematic stereotyping. Now, Have you ever encountered situations where you felt you had to prove yourself twice as hard because of our gender?
Well, hindi mawawala yon, no? Kasi nga male-dominated field ito. So, ibig sabihin, even when I was designated as a spokesperson, hindi naman lahat amenable to a female voice for the armed forces. Kasi, syempre, pagka AFP ang pinag-usapan, di ba? Warlike situation yan, di ba? National security, di ba? So, it involves tanks and ships and aircraft. So, parang, parang gera-gera yung usapan dito. But, of course, when I was given this role, I had to deliver in a sense that we have to give the truth, clarity, no, to our kababayans on what's really the thrusts of the AFP, paano namin i-handle certain situations. And of course, it wasn't really with not much, so, ang dami-daming challenges talaga na dinaanan during that time. Kasi aside from the geopolitical tensions that we're facing, ang dami pa nating political issues na hinaharap, no, on top of course, yung regular na mga issues that you have to address, no? But andito tayo, team effort ito, together with the public affairs officers and of course the different branches of service giving us the actual details on the ground, what's really happening, kaya nating ipakita at ipaalam sa sambayan ng Pilipino kung ano yung katotohanan at ano yung nangyayari talaga and how the AFP is performing its mission and mandate to the letter.
Now, communication is key in military-civil affairs. How do you use empathy, often viewed as a softer trait, as a strategic advantage in your leadership style?
Well, empathy should not be viewed as a weakness, no? I think empathy is strategic. When people resonate with you, no, they tend to parang magkakaroon sila ng sense of belonging, no, na parang part sila nung usapin na yon. So, I think it's a superpower for us females to be able to speak with empathy, no? Kasi nababalance natin yung the uniform gives authority, but your voice gives the
empathy.
Gives empathy. So, yun, kailangan klaro ka, kailangan kaya mong i-deliver yung message with respect, no? And I would like to think that we are here to connect people in this sense. Kasi ito yung AFP, ito yung ginagawa namin, and we're doing this for you, the Filipino public. And we want to emphasize na kailangan natin ng unity in this. So, ito, lumalabas to sa usapin ng West Philippine Sea, no? Yung West Philippine Sea issue, hindi ito usapin ng iisang panig lamang. Ito ay usapin ng buong sambayan ng Pilipino. There's no color to the West Philippine Sea issue. Atin yan, soberanya, sovereign rights, no, international laws that we adhere to. So, walang kulay politika dyan, walang religious affiliation dyan, walang dialect, no, na ikaw ay Ilocano, ikaw ay di ba? Walang pagkakaiba yan kapag usapin ng West Philippine Sea. The West Philippine issue is a unifying factor for Filipinos. In fact, ngayon, di ba, we are transitioning in the AFP from internal security operations to territorial defense. So, tinatapos na natin itong insurgency problem natin. And ang pinakamalaking effort dito is yung surrenderies, no? We're opening the doors to amnesty, to peace, no? May amnesty program tayo. Ang gusto natin, hindi na tayo makibaka sa ating mga kapatid bilang mamamayang Pilipino, no? But together, let's fight a bigger challenge, which is territorial defense. So again, itong geopolitical tensions natin, the West Philippine Sea issue should be a unifying factor for all Filipinos.
Now, what was a major turning point in your early military career that reaffirmed na narito na talaga tayo sa bukasyon at tawag ng serbisyo para sa inyo?
Well, this is a life of service. Once you enter the PMA, no, you are already being groomed to become a leader, no. So tuloy-tuloy na yan, no? As soon as you step on the very first uniform natin sa bilang miyembro ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas, nandoon ka na, no? To render the service to the nation. So, hindi mo dapat kalimutan, no? Yung mandato na yon. But, of course, we have to balance pa rin. We have to strike a balance between, of course, raising our own families, vis-a-vis rendering a life of service. But, ang tinitingnan natin dyan is how you would marry both, integrate both, and still perform at your utmost.
Now, for young women watching right now who dream of wearing the military uniform, ano ang pinakamalagang aral na gusto mo pong baunin nila mula sa inyong karanasan?
Well, it's how you accept how things are. 'Di ba? So, pag pinili mo yung bokasyon na yan, yung profession na yan, you really go forward and i-inculcate mo siya sa buhay mo na you enjoy the things that you do. Kung ano man yan, kung mahirap man yan, it's still how you accept it eh. So, in my career, I have been assigned in different posts na would require me to be like travel a lot, no? I was in the presidential security group for 3 presidencies.
Wow.
And of course, mayroon talagang instances that you would really miss important occasions sa mga buhay ng pamilya natin, ng mga anak natin, no? So wala ka for birthdays, moving up ceremonies and those things, no? So paano ka babawi sa mga ganong instances? But paano ko napalaki yung mga anak ko to now, no? Kung makita mo sila, ma-meet mo sila, that's still the greatest trophy that I can say na talagang na-achieve ko despite me rendering a life of service.
Nakaka-inspire po ang inyong kwento at dedikasyon, but don't go away just yet, Just Girls. Up next, Colonel Francel is not only a force in uniform, but also a trailblazer in cyberspace. Malalaman natin kung paano niya pinamumunuan ang laban sa mga cyber threats at kung anong ibig sabihin ng pagiging Cybersecurity Woman Leader of the Year 2023. Just Girls, we'll be right back.
Narito na ang schedule ng inyong paboritong Lotto games mula sa Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office.
Araw-araw ang draws ng 2D Lotto at 3D Lotto tuwing alas 2 ng hapon, alas 5 ng hapon at alas 9 ng gabi.
At pagsapit ng alas 9 ng gabi, sasamahan pa yan ng big time games. Tuwing Lunes, magpapapremyo rin ang 4D Lotto, Mega Lotto 645 at Grand Lotto 655.
Pagdating ng Martes, magdadala ng panalo ang 6D Lotto, Lotto 642, Super Lotto 649 at Ultra Lotto 658.
Tuwing Miyerkules, umaarangkada ang papremyo ng 4D Lotto, Mega Lotto 645 at Grand Lotto 655.
Pagsapit ng Huwebes, tutok na sa 6D Lotto, Lotto 642 at Super Lotto 649.
Mapapanood naman tuwing Biyernes ang pagbola ng winning numbers ng 4D Lotto, Mega Lotto 645 at Ultra Lotto 658.
At tuwing Sabado, abangan ang 6D Lotto, Lotto 642 at Grand Lotto 655.
Sigurado namang pasasayahin ang araw ng Linggo ng exciting prizes ng Super Lotto 649 at Ultra Lotto 658.
Sali na dahil baka ikaw na ang susunod na mananalo
At maging Lotto Milyonaryo. Araw-araw, let's play Lotto! Dito lang yan sa DATV at IBC.
If coffee is your religion, Italy is where your gods live. Here, we honor the barista, not the coffee machine. Because coffee is like life. It's all about how you make it. When your barista is the best, you can taste love in every cup. Our barista is the best. Bravo, Filipino.
I am DJ, I am the Philippines.
Welcome back to Just Girls here on DATV. If you're just tuning in, kasama pa rin natin yung Huwebes, ang kauna-unahang female spokesperson ng Armed Forces of the Philippines, si Colonel Francel Margareth Padilla. Now, in this segment, we're diving into another impressive aspect of her career, cybersecurity and technology. Now, you were recognized as the Cybersecurity Woman Leader of the Year for 2023 for your extensive work in cybersecurity. What does this recognition mean to you as a Filipino officer representing the country on a global stage?
Well, basically, I don't look at this as Francel, no? I look at this as the Filipino people na nandoon tayo sa global stage na ang mga Pilipino may skill sets tayo na karapat-dapat no na ma-recognize din in an international arena. Nakikita natin yan, no? More and more Filipinos have a lot of skill sets that they offer to the whole world, no? So napakarami nating mga OFWs to begin with, and of course yung mga talented natin na mga personas. On top of that, napakarami nating magagaling sa tech na nandiyo dyan, nagsaservisyo sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. And this recognition affirms that and tinataas natin yung bandila, of course, ng sambayan ng Pilipinas.
Modern warfare is no longer fought just on the ground, sea, or air, but also in cyberspace. Now, how critical is cybersecurity to our national security strategy today?
Well, ngayon nandito ako sa sa information domain as the spokesperson of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. So kung titingnan nyo, lumawig na yung battle space natin ngayon. From the kinetic side of things, air, land, and sea, nandito tayo na ngayon sa non-kinetic side of things. No? Information, andyan yung cyberspace, and of course, itong cognitive space, the battle of the mindsets. So pag tayo, like in this case, no, we're giving information, it's not just that. It's not giving information or putting out the data out there, but of course, influencing yung perspective ng mga makikinig sa atin. And because of this perspective would influence their actions. So, dun siya tumatawid no, sa cognitive space. So, yung cyber is the tool that lets us be able to give the information, and that information would influence how people would react, how people would behave. And so, it is really very important for us to use our voice para ilabas itong ating transparency initiative, no? Ang sinasabi natin is, the truth is our greatest weapon.
Now, tech and cybersecurity are fields heavily dominated by men. What motivated you to specialize in information technology and signal operations within the military?
Well, basically, it's something na parang hindi siya nasa eyes view, no? Nasa perspective ng mga nakakakita. But it gives a lot of impact in the operations. Now, when I started my career as a signal officer, we digitalized the Philippine Army. So, we would be hiring fresh graduates as programmers, and we were developing so many systems, no, para magamit ng Philippine Army para bumilis yung decision-making process natin, and a lot of office functions became na-transfer siya sa digital domain. So, magkaroon din tayo ng opportunity to give jobs and opportunities sa mga fresh graduates natin as programmers to be part of the Army. And moving forward, nag-transition ako to physical security with the Presidential Security Group. And then, doon ako lumipat to the cybersecurity side of things na napakalawak ng scope ng cyber na hindi lang siya sa tech side, but ikaw as a user of that tech, that gadget or device is also part of cybersecurity. So, ang sinasabi natin, cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility, and ngayon, with the new challenges that we're facing, contemporary modern challenges that we are facing, sobrang lawig na ng hinaharap natin, no? Misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, yung mga fake news, no? Napakalaking hamon yan sa atin, hindi lang dito sa Pilipinas, but sa buong mundo. And itong career na to would really be able to influence lahat. Wala ka tong pinipili, no? Lahat parte tayo ng cybersecurity.
Sa mabilis na pag-unlad ng AI at digital tools, ano po ang mga pangunahing cyber threats na dapat paghandaan at pag-ingatan ng ating mga institusyon at ng mga karaniwang mamamayan?
Well, AI is everywhere, no? And AI can also be used to influence the mindsets. So ngayon, dati, ang kinakalaban natin with the fake news, no? Troll farms. Isang tao, mayroon siyang multiple cellphones, sumasagot-sagot siya sa mga comments, no? Ngayon hindi na, with the proliferation of artificial intelligence, we're against botnets na, no? So ito, paano natin babalansehin ito? Pag ikaw nanood ka ng isang reel, makikita na yun yung interest mo, then you will be fed with the same content over and over. So kahit na tayo merong magandang mensahe, hindi siya pumapasok sa feed nung taong gusto nating marating dahil hindi lumalabas sa algorithms na interesado siya sa pinag-uusapan natin. So how do you traverse that now, no? How do you balance the take of people in different agenda and different mga usapin na lumalabas ngayon. So this is really a very big challenge for us, and ito nga yung tinututukan natin, how we can use AI for defense if AI is being used for offense. And hindi lang yan, no? That's just the information side of things. AI can also be used in our technology, in terms of disrupting our communication systems, no? Yung mga detection devices natin and all those things, no? So malawak ang usapin sa AI. Sa usapin ng kababaihan, pwede natin itong magamit to leverage on our younger generations na mga kabataan, no? Who are all tech savvy.
Correct.
Mga kabataan natin ngayon,
Maka-iPad
baby
na.
pa lang yan, naka-iPad na, di ba? So, nandun yung buhay nila sa technology. So, we can leverage on their skill sets to look for an AI or devise an AI that can also be used for our defense mechanisms, no? So, maraming skill sets. There are pros, there are cons, no? And sinasabi nga natin, even the West Philippine Sea issue is the ground zero for risks na nandiyan dyan, no? Water cannoning incidents and all those things, cyber attacks and all, no? But it's also an avenue for opportunities.
Now, how do you foster innovation and technical adaptability within your teams, especially when dealing with rapidly evolving technology?
So sabi nga natin, hindi lang siya risks but also opportunities. Yung opportunity natin dyan, nagkakaroon tayo ng bagong skill set, no? We can train different members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, especially yung younger generations, to be part of our tech warriors, so to speak, no? So yan nga yung nilabas ng ating Secretary of National Defense na i-open natin ang doors ng AFP para dito sa mga ganitong skill sets, no? AI, cybersecurity, no? Nandiyan dyan. So with that, ang tech is constantly evolving. So hindi pwedeng mahuli tayo dito. With that, no, we should also be continuously learning. So hindi pwedeng nasa tech ka at hindi ka tuluyang mag-aaral, no? Kung hindi, mahuhuli ka.
Correct.
Kasi dati, cybersecurity lang usapan. Ngayon, may AI na. And ito nang next na pinupuntahan natin is already quantum computing. So kailangan tuloy-tuloy pati pag-aaral natin.
Now, in managing information operations, misinformation and fake news are major battles. How does the AFP maintain public trust in an era of digital disinformation?
Kaya very important yung credibility natin bilang spokesperson. So with our trust of having our transparency initiative, ang sabi natin kanina, no, the truth is our greatest weapon. So pinahalagahan natin yan, no, being honest, kahit na magtampo ang ating mga kababayan sa mga statements natin, no, but nandiyan dyan, no, nilalabas natin ang katotohanan. And ang gusto lang naman natin sa Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas is ipagpatuloy yung ating mandato, to perform natin yung mission natin, no, na protektahan ang ating soberenya, ang ating sovereign rights, no, and with that, ang inyong Armed Forces of the Philippines is nandiyan 24/7 in our waters, in our features, and hindi po kami titigil to perform our mandate para patuloy po nating ma-enjoy the democracy that we have, the freedom of speech that we have, no, that we are enjoying, and of course we want each Filipino na makatulog ng mahimbing sa gabi.
Now, how do you encourage more young girls and women to pursue STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and cybersecurity careers?
Well, meron tayong mga nilalabas yan, no? We have been performing meron tayong mga mentorship programs for younger females, no, na interested dito sa STEM field. Meron tayong mga groups and organizations that we're joining, such as DIWA, no? Meron tayong Digital Innovation for Women and Girls, no? Yan ang natin, no? Gusto natin yung younger generations makita nila there is also a career for them in the tech industry, no? Hindi siya talaga pang lalaki lang. And we have something to offer to the table. Pwede nating mapalawig ang ating mga careers in this kind of in this field, so to speak, no? And over and above that, binubuhay din natin yung patriotismo ng ating mga younger generations. So, meron tayong mga binuong grupo such as the Lakambini ng Kalayaan. Yung Lakambini ng Kalayaan, mga volunteers lang to, Fiona. Mga businesswomen, women in tech, no, who are willing to mentor younger generations, the youth, no? And ginagamit natin yung cyber as an instrument of peace. So, pinapalabas natin, no, the right context, the right narrative, and marami siyang programa, no, na nakikipag-partner tayo sa iba't ibang ahensya, other stakeholders, to raise patriotism and nationalism in general.
Looking ahead, what key technological advancements do you hope to see fully integrated into our defense forces in the coming years?
Well, in the Armed Forces of the Philippines, meron tayong nilaunch na through our Communications, Electronics, and Information System Service, meron tayong Ideathon na inilabas. Yung Ideathon na yon, Fiona, inopen namin siya sa iba't ibang universities. And the students can propose an AI that can be used for the Armed Forces of the Philippines. And nakita natin, no, na ang dami-daming bright ideas ng ating younger generations. So hopefully, in one of those, no, meron tayo talagang ma-implement, no, and ang gusto naman talaga natin is ma-realize natin fully itong modernization ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. And patuloy yan, no, na mapalawig natin itong mga kakayanan natin para patuloy natin magampanan ng ating mission to the letter, of course, to protect the people and to secure the state, even in cyber domain.
Mula sa frontline ng seguridad hanggang sa digital defense, totoong nakaka-proud ang galing ng Pinay. When we return for our final segment, kilalanin pa natin si Colonel Francel outside the uniform, her message on women's empowerment, work-life integration, and her legacy for the next generation. Tutok lang sa Just Girls, dito lang sa DATV.
This is not a cruise ship. Nobody gets pampered. So imagine my surprise.
Chief Officer Jasmine reporting, Captain.
Container ships are tough assignments. You sail with monster cargoes and killer waves. You navigate using lights, depth charts, instruments, and instincts, all at the same time. You always want the best. And I remembered. She is from the Philippines.
You did a great job, Jasmine. Captain Jasmine.
I am Captain Jasmine. I am the Philippines.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Mary De Leon, ang inyong PCSO Lotto host, inviting you to watch the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Lotto Draws. Live na live po namin binubola ang inyong paboritong Lotto games araw-araw. That is every 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m. Kaya siguradong transparent, exciting at kapanapanabik ang bawat draw at mapapanood ito sa DATV, sa Facebook, and on YouTube. Kaya naman, huwag kalimutang tumutok at sumali dahil baka kayo na ang susunod na maging Lotto Milyonaryo. Pero higit pa sa pagkakataong manalo, alam nyo ba na sa bawat taya ninyo ay maraming buhay ang natutulungan? Ang bawat tiket na inyong binibili ay may katumbas na tulong para sa mga pasyenteng nangangailangan ng medical assistance, para sa mga programang pangkalusugan at para sa iba't ibang serbisyong nabibigay pag-asa. Kaya habang kayo ay nangangarap na manalo, nakakatulong pa kayo sa kapwa Pilipino. Isang simpleng taya, isang malaking pagkakataon. Hindi lang para sa inyo, kundi para sa ating mga kababayan. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Taya na! Tumutok na at sabay-sabay nating abangan ang susunod na panalo. Muli, ako po si Mary De Leon at ito ang PCSO Lotto para sa pangarap mo at para sa bayan. Good luck at sana kayo na ang susunod na manalo.
Welcome back to Just Girls. Tayo po ay nasa huling bahagi na ng ating makabuluhang kwento. Kasama si FP spokesperson Colonel Francel Margareth Padilla. In our final segment, pag-uusapan naman natin ang inyong personal journey, values, at ang inyong mensahe para sa bawat babaeng Pilipino. Behind the uniform and high-ranking status, who is Francel Padilla as a person outside her military duty?
Well, foremost, Fiona, I'm a mom. No, so sabi ko nga sa'yo, yun ang greatest trophies ko, no. I was able to raise two wonderful sons, no. They are equally, both of them are talagang true gentlemen, no. My firstborn is a data scientist.
Wow.
And yung bunso ko, kakagraduate lang din sa PMA and has joined the Philippine Air Force.
Lahat, sila both.
Yung bunso ko ang nasa service, no, following the footsteps of me and their dad na pilot, no.
Wow.
So, yun. So, on top of that, kikay din ako out of the uniform, no. So, I'm very much into the cute stuff, the trinkets and all, no. I'm very particular to details and all those things. I am a frustrated interior designer. So, mahilig ako mag-decorate. No? So, makikita mo yan pag bumisita ka sa opisina ko.
Daming decorations.
Oo, no? But on top of that, no, I have to balance the heart and of course the authority of leading the pack, so to speak, every time I have this command posts. But to this day, andito naman yung tiwala sa atin na ibinigay bilang ito nga, tagapagsalita and being the face and the voice of the AFP. And I would like to believe na hindi siya because of gender, but because of merits, no? So, kung ano man ang gusto kong ma-remember for me being the first female, is not because the first female spokesperson, but because I was able to gain the trust, I was able to unite the Filipino people with my face and my voice.
Now, high-stress jobs can easily lead to burnout. How do you practice self-care and protect your peace and mental well-being amidst of your demanding responsibilities?
Well, yung rest hindi na lang siya it's a must, no. It's actually maintenance, no. We really have to slow down paminsan-minsan. In fact, even soldiers have a mental wellness break, no, yung ating formerly rest and recreation, no. So para hindi magka-burnout, dapat integral part ng ating routine yung rest and of course wellness, no. So ine-emphasize ko dyan, we should have a very good support system para kahit anong hamon ang harapin natin, no, kaya natin siyang ma-surpass because tag team effort ito, hindi lang siya collective effort siya, hindi lang siya para sa isang tao.
Women are often asked about work-life balance, a question rarely posed to men. How do you view this concept at paano mo na paglalaanan ng panahon ang inyong pamilya at sarili?
Well, basically, at this point in my career, I would look at this concept as work-life integration. No? So sometimes, mas kailangan ng trabaho yung full attention ko, panahon and oras ko, no? And there are also certain instances that kailangan ng pamilya ko yung oras ko. So you have to be able to strike a balance on the focus that you are putting forward at that point in time. Kasi kung hati yung focus natin, both ends, hindi maganda yung performance natin, no? So we'll not be in very good terms with whoever, and of course, hindi rin natin magagampanan ng maayos yung trabaho natin. So we have to integrate this into our routine, how we would remain focused and be able to perform our mandate ng maayos, no? Up to yung kung gaano yung kakayahan natin, paano na tayo makapag-perform ng maayos.
Now, who were the women figures or mentors in your life who inspired you to become the strong and resilient leader you are today?
Well, it surpasses through generations, no? Una, yung aking lola, no, where I grew up in Apari, Cagayan, and yung lola ko sobrang stricto. So siguro doon yung authoritarian type of things, no? That's where I take it from. But nag-OFW kasi yung parents ko eh. So my mom was in Libya for some time. So doon ako lumaki sa lola ko and my aunt. Yung aunt ko naman is the epitome of the sweetness and kindness naman din, no? Yung very, very, very emotional. She'll give you all the hugs and and of course the care. So yung my mom is also a very strong personality na So sinasabi namin, bato yung mom ko. So itinaguyod na din ako. She was widowed, kami, buong pamilya ng kami magkakapatid. She was widowed early, no? Yun, siya yung nagtaguyod sa amin, putting up a business, pinag-aral niya kaming lahat hanggang kaming lahat makatapos, and all of us are in government na magkakapatid, no? So, nandoon yung strength and of course compassion and empathy from all these women. And lahat, no? Pati yung mga sisters-in-law ko, I have three. Sila, iba-iba din sila ng personality and we complement each other, no, sa aming family. And may isa kong pamangkin na babae who also is taking my lead. She's into tech as well, and she's also doing a lot of speaking engagements, both international and national. So hindi lang yan, of course, other than females, ang pinaka-inspiration ko are my two sons, no, na very, very supportive din.
Women empowerment is a central theme of our show. In your opinion, ano po ang ibig sabihin ng isang totoong empowered women sa modernong panahon ngayon?
For me, an empowered woman is also somebody who lifts other women up. No, so it's a collective body of women supporting women, and together, no, we can really work wonders. Pagka nag-usap-usap ang mga babae, very, very particular to the details, no? And each one has very bright ideas that they offer to the table. So, I think hindi ito labanan as to men against women. Kapag ka meron namang mission accomplishment, hindi naman sasabihin it's the men who did it better, no? Or who did it best, but who performed the job. Diba? So to each his own, we have our own strengths. We should leverage on that strength and of course uplift each other in the process.
What advice can you give to women who are hesitant to step into leadership roles or enter industries where they feel outnumbered?
Well, una sa lahat, superpower ang pagiging babae. Medyo matinis yung boses natin, no? Pag pumasok tayo, talagang tendency, pakikinggan ka pag nagsalita ka. So you have to make sense. You should have something to offer to the table. So, if you are not being offered a seat at the table, you should bring your own chair.
In moments when you face self-doubt or immense adversity, what internal core belief keeps you moving forward?
Well, basically, minsan may ganyan, no? Pinakakalaban natin is self-pity, no? So, I think hindi naman tayo makakarating kung nasaan tayo ngayon without the resilience that we had all throughout. Ako, hindi lahat, every one of us, no? Hindi all rainbows and butterflies. Marami din tayong challenges na dinadaanan sa buhay natin. Ako, in my career, used to be, I was a tag team with my husband in the performance of my mandate, for mandate and our duty, no? We complement each other. Pag duty siya, I take over the family, ganon. And ako rin, pag naka-duty ako, so I would be in very much focused, siya yung nag-step in. But I lost him in 2015. And so I have to navigate this alone. No? And so, kailangan, yun nga, sabi ko, very, very important yung support system na nando doon para, of course, be able to push us forward. So, yung doubts and the fears will always be there, but it should not pull you down, but instead, push you forward, no? Na you take it as a challenge, na itong mga challenges na kinakaharap ko, kaya ko siyang lampasan.
Now, how can women in leadership in society become better allies in supporting and lifting women into decision-making positions?
Well, we complement each other. Ang mga kalalakihan, no, sabi ko, they look at the bigger picture. And the women, they look at the small details. So together, when we work together, no, mas mako-complete nyo yung picture. The same is true in cybersecurity. Ang cybersecurity is all-encompassing. It's like an information system. So nandun yung hardware part, paano mo isa-secure yung software part, no, mga applications, whatever you use. You have the network part, mayroon din mga experts dyan, no, yung dinadaluyan nung data natin. The data na mismong pinoprotect natin, no, that leads to you, can be identified to you. And of course, yung kabuuhan ng lahat ng ito, no, hardware, software, data, the network, and the people that is using it. So, lahat ito, sabi ko nga, cyber-secure pagka ito, yung skill sets na ito, sama-sama. So, there's always a need for collaboration, tulong-tulong, sama-sama, and together, no, we will we'll create wonders and success in the mission.
Now, to wrap up our show, kung may isa ka pong mensahe o paalala na gustong sabihin sa bawat batang babaeng Pilipino na nangangarap ng mataas ngayon, ano po ito?
Well, sa ating mga kabataan, no, na mga kababaihan, I hope na we, as yung mga nauna sa inyo, would serve as an inspiration to you. Kung ano man po ang narating natin, ay hindi po dahil babae tayo, but because we deserve to be part of this, no? Dahil nga because of our merits, because we really worked hard for that. So hindi natin dapat i-leverage yung pagiging babae natin to move forward, but instead, let's work together with our different counterparts, no? And perform at our utmost. Again, ulitin ko, sinabi ko kanina, no? If you're not being offered a seat at the table, you have to bring your own chair.
Isang napakalaking karangalan at inspirasyon ang ibinahagi po ninyo sa amin, Colonel Francel Margareth Padilla. Thank you for your service to the nation, for guarding our borders and digital frontiers, and for paving the way for future generations of women leaders.
Well, Fiona, maraming salamat for having the Armed Forces of the Philippines here, and of course, sharing my story para sa ating mga kababayan, no? And eto po, meron po tayo sa Armed Forces of the Philippines yung communications plan mulat. Ang gusto po natin mangyari ay mamulat ang bawat mamamayang Pilipino at ang buong mundo dito po sa ating cause, ano? Ito po ay three-pronged, KKK, ang ating karagatan, ang ating karapatan at ating kinabukasan. It's RCs, our rights and our future. Alamin natin ang tungkol dito, ipaglaban natin ito, and kayo po ang future namin. Itatawid natin ito sa susunod na saling lahi, and dapat po suportahan natin ito. So with this, meron po tayong pinopromote, no, na hand signal. Kung ganito magpa-picture ang mga Japanese, no, and ganito magpa-picture ang mga Koreans. Pagka Pilipino po tayo, W is the West Philippine Sea. Dapat po nasa puso natin ito. It's West Philippine Sea, atin po ito.
Mga ka-DATV, pinalalakas ng kwento ni Colonel Francel ang ating paniniwala na walang limitasyon ang kanyang marating na kababaihan basta may pusong matatag, talinong tapat at dedikasyon sa bayan. I-tune in muli ang inyong mga telebisyon huwing Huwebes para sa panibagong kwento ng inspirasyon at tagumpay. Ako po ang inyong host, Fiona Gicale. Nagpapaalala, be bold, be brave, and be empowered. Dito on Just Girls, good night everyone.